We're in Glen Allen, and we're working on a project for a customer who decided to use one of our competitors to do an encapsulation system. And from what it looks like is they used the wrong adhesive on a couple of the seams, and they didn't actually install it correctly. So he's been getting water on top of the material. So we're going to come in today and redo some of the project and try to get him back into our team. The project's actually a fairly nice project. It's 1,200 square foot. You can tell by the size of the house. And the outside crawl space wall looks like it'd be a little tight. It's actually fairly nice size crawl space, so we should have a pretty easy time at it. So again, just fixing some seams. Normally we don't work on other people's projects that are done correctly or not. But in this situation, the customer asked us to come through because the warranty he had is with a company that's now out of business. So we're going to get it straightened out and get him back into our good graces. So let's see what we got to do here, and we'll shoot some more videos of the repair and how it goes from there. Part of the reason why they're having a problem down here are the way these wall pieces are fastened to the foundation wall. You can see they used ram set grommets, which work really well in this system, but the problem is you can't use them down the wall. You have to use them at the very top, because typically when you have a standing water issue, it's because it's coming through the block. So if you use your fasteners too close to the bottom, the water actually come out around the fastener. You can see by the stain here that the water has run out of that fastener and onto the plastic. So we've taken the liberty of cutting the sealing tape up to expose how they overlapped, and we ran into another situation that was incorrect, and that's, as you can see here, this material is run down up here, and I'm sorry about the shadows, but the wall material should actually be running underneath of the floor material. So you can see when I pick it up that the floor material runs directly to the wall, and what happens is water will run down this block here and then run underneath of the wall material and on top of the floor material and then create a problem. So what we have to do is we have to actually reverse this order. We're going to run this wall material underneath of the floor material and retape it back in, and that'll eliminate the leak point. Over here we're going to have to pull that fastener out and just patch the hole that's in there, and then keep an eye on it next time it rains and see if we continue to have a leak there. So let's get that rolling. What we did is we pulled the floor material back and was able to make the wall material run down behind the floor material. You can see now that that's actually correct in the way it's installed. So we're going to take the floor material and lay it over top. Now see how the reverse order? Now that the pier runs underneath, the floor material is actually going to be butted up to this, and then we're going to tape this seam right here after we spray some adhesive on it. So there's going to be a double layer protection. You're going to have spray adhesive here in conjunction with vapor lock tape right here, so that'll seal that all back in and that'll stop the leak. And we're going to do the same thing here. They did the same thing with this piece. And we're going to cut this tape and lay this underneath of the new floor material. The pier that we came across where the wall material runs down onto the floor. So again, this is just it's attention to detail and understanding how the system works correctly and how to install correctly. So what we're going to do again is we're just going to separate the existing wall material from the floor and try to finagle it underneath of the floor material to get it to where it's no longer a problem. The one that we repaired is over here actually, and as you can see, and it's kind of hard to see from this angle, but as you can see, we did the repair, ran the floor material up the wall, and came back and taped it in correctly. So that's the way it should be. We're going to come over here, fix this one now, and then I'm going to show you what it should look like when we're done. Actually, I'm going to have I'll shoot a video of how to fix it after it's been already put down. But this system here, it's fairly uncomplicated. It just, in the installation phase, it's just attention to detail, just understanding how to put it in correctly. And that's the problem with some of these other companies. They don't take the time to train their guys correctly, and they come under and try to figure it out. And this is where the learning curve is shortened with all crawl. We've done this system so many times, it's just not complicated for us. So let's get this started. Here, it's the same one we were working on. You can see they ran the one piece correctly, even though they didn't really leave a lot of overlap, and they taped it up to that one. But then they came through the front here and left the wall material over top of the floor. So all you have to do in order to really get this correct, and it's again a lot easier if they do it during the installation phase, is to peel the floor back and set the wall material down on the floor like that. Make sure it lays somewhat flat on the dirt floor, and then just bring your wall material or your floor material back up on top of it. I mean, it's that easy. During the installation phase, you would already have the piers done first before you put the floor material down, so this wouldn't be as complicated a matter. And then we just lay our floor material back over top of the wall and come back and tape that in, and we'll show you what that looks like when we're done there. The completed project should look like with the tape and the seam overlapping up the wall. We came back and put in the vapor lock tape, 2 courses of it, and then back here we have a spray adhesive over top of the leaf. So you can see it should be a positive seam. You shouldn't have any bubbles or air pockets or any gaps in the tape itself, and it should sit down nice and easy on top of the floor material. Here, that's the way the pier should look when it's completed. Floor material runs up the wall, and you use the vapor block tape to seal everything back down, and you go 2 courses. So we sealed everything back in. Everything is back as the way it should have been when it was installed, and get rocking on these other piers, get this done, and then we'll show you what we're going to do with the wall. A ram set fastener that's been put into the wall at the very bottom where the crease is. You can see where I'm pointing at here is where it's just too close to that crease. So any water that runs down this wall is actually going to run down, hit that nail that's fastened into the wall, and run out around the washer. So what we need to do is we need to take our flat bar and set it behind the nail head. This one's actually countersunk pretty good, so we're going to fight with this a little bit to get it out. You can see there I took the plastic out, and now that the nail head's exposed, so I'm going to try and get something behind there, maybe pry this washer out a little bit and try to get behind that nail, and then use my flat bar to pry it out of the way, and then we'll show you what it looks like when we do that and how we repair it. A flat bar forced in behind the nail head, I had to bend the washer out a little bit to get behind it because it was countersunk pretty good. So the only way to really get them out is to just work them loose and then pull it all the way out. And you can see this one's actually the correct size to use. You only want to, well, actually it's a little long, but you really only want to use like a 3/4 inch or an inch. This one's more of an 1.5 inches. And then with the right load, it should be a little loose behind it if you're going to attach it the correct way at the top. So we pulled it out, and you can see we had to mangle the plastic a little bit to get to it. So what we're going to do there is we're just going to clean out the dirt around it to get it where I can get a positive seal with the vapor lock tape, and then we're going to put a piece of tape over it and clear that back in. Here's the repair. So the hole was behind it. I actually used 2 pieces of tape there. It's pretty close to the crease in the floor material, but we did the replacement. The repair is done. We did the same thing over here. You can see further down right there, there's another repair that was made. That hole was really small, so we didn't have to use too much in the way of tape there. But that's really what you want it to look like. You want to look down the wall and just see nothing on that bottom course, and that way the material does what it's supposed to do and allow the water to run down underneath of the floor material.